Texas A&M, preseason number 19 team currently, went 8-5 last year under first-year head coach Mike Elco, which, given how they started the season, 6-1, and then how they ended it, can feel like a bit of a disappointment. But realistically, 8-5 year one is not bad at all, especially considering how Jimbo Fisher left the roster and left the team.
He was 7-1 at one point.
7-1, that's right. Yeah, just we would have liked to finish better, but realistically, we weren't the best team, and there were holes, and that got exposed down the stretch. I applaud Mike Elko for his job in year one, and now he has a big chance here in year two with who all is coming back and how the makeup of the team is looking. Starts at quarterback with Marcel Reed, who started down the stretch last year after he came in the LSU game and completely flipped the tide. Threw for 1,800 yards last year, 15 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Is a better runner currently than a passer, very elusive, hard to tackle in open space, good in read options, good as a scrambler as well in an open play. In my opinion, throws a decent deep ball. However, the intermediate passing game can be a bit of a struggle for him. My hope there, though, is he started half a season as a redshirt freshman and now gets a full offseason, is still a young guy. I don't think there's any reason to expect the passing not to improve. The real question, is how much it improves. But I want to get y'all thoughts on Marcel Reed.
He reminds me a ton of Jalen Milroe without the fullness of the explosiveness, but that is how he plays. It's really, really good runner. And he throws a great deep ball. Although bad reports from camp, apparently, of his deep ball progression.
A&M has posted a couple bad videos that I'm I don't know why you're posting that on Twitter.
I've seen those as well.
It's just not. It's not a great look.
I want to see how he uses KC Concepcion this year, because that guy was really, really good 2 years ago. Had an off year last year. He was an All-American as a freshman. And then here he is with Texas A&M in his year 3. I want to see how that works out. Their run game should be elite.
It should be a top 5 run game in the country.
And I think that's going to help Marcel a ton. I really want to see that, flourish, because I think that's the engine of the team outside of their defense, of course, which Elko, I love that he's going to take full responsibility. I think he thinks that last year was kind of unacceptable.
Did you hear his quote after the bowl game?
I didn't hear it, no.
Someone basically asked him, what are you looking forward to next season? And he said, not having to watch a defense this bad play again. And it's
yeah,
that's a pretty big indictment on how he felt about the defense last season.
That makes sense. That corresponds with what I was saying as well. It feels like he wants to take full control over it. I think massive success from last season, considering what was the Jimbo era. I think you've rejuvenated the fan base, because I was there 2 years ago, and I'm sitting with a bunch of A&M fans, and they are just clowning Jimbo Fisher the entire game. It's crazy that game ends up firing 2 coaches as well, which we did
Hallmark moment.
We did not think was going to happen, but it happened. And I think the big thing for Elko is he rejuvenated the fan base. We brought back the cool uniforms.
Brought back power, right?
Brought back power. And I don't know if it was necessarily just because they were on prime time a ton, because the SEC got the ESPN deal. But it felt like they made College Station again.
Yeah.
And you didn't win all of those games in College Station. But it felt like it really became an advantage again. And it did not feel like that in the Jimbo era, really, at all. It had not felt like that since the Kevin Sumlin era. It just did not feel like it was that A&M was necessarily a tough place to play. Hell, we won at A&M.
That game was so frustrating. Shout out Will Rogers.
Will Rogers won a game in College Station, a night game in College Station. That should not happen.
No.
And I think that is returned, and I'm excited to see how that plays out this year as well.
Yeah. Marshall Reed does not have to be great for this team to be great. He just has to hit the throws that are there and make some plays with his legs, because you talked about it, the run game should be elite. We're returning all 5 offensive linemen. Le'Veon Moss getting hurt in the South Carolina game, I think, is an underrated reason our team cratered down the stretch as it did. He was the engine of our offense.
Central Michigan legend.
Exactly.
Le'Veon Moss.
Reuben Owens, broke his leg last year. He should be back healthy. And then Amari Daniels will be our third best back, and he rushed for like 700 yards or something like that last season. He's an SEC quality back. So all three of them behind that offensive line should be a big engine. Wide receiver woes have been, very common for us over the years. Since the Johnny Manziel teams, we've had one good
Mike
wide
Evans.
receiver,
Yeah.
and it's Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Besides that, we've had a lot of talented guys not pan out. So they could not pan out, but I am high on Casey Concepcion. Mario Craver, I think, is a pretty good get from Mississippi State. He's a talented kid.
Yeah.
Ashton Bethel Roman is a redshirt freshman. They're very high on in the program.
Mm-hmm.
Jerome Miles is coming off an ACL tear, but he's a 5-star true freshman. So maybe he makes a splash. I doubt it. The offense should be very, very good. The biggest question about this team, which you've already talked about, the defense was not up to Mike Elco's standards last year, especially the passing defense, and he's a secondaries guy, or a DB guy. We allowed 243 passing yards a game last year, which was good for 96 in the FBS. Clearly, Mike Elco was not happy with it. We weren't happy with it. I do think part of it was the DBs, and our pass rush also was very disappointing last year for who we lost. I mean, we lost, I think,
2 first-round picks.
1 first-round pick in 2 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah. And Nick Gordon, Shamar Stewart, and Shamar Turner.
Mm-hmm.
So we will have to replace them, but that's kind of one position at A&M where you expect there to be dudes. Cassius Howell actually was our highest graded pass rusher last year, and he's back. And then in the secondary, talking about needing to make a step forward, we bring all of our guys back, but Tyreek Chappelle kind of plays the nickel and is like the do-it-all guy for us in the secondary. He got hurt in the Notre Dame game last season and didn't play the rest of the year, and I think that was a huge loss. So I'm hoping him coming back, as well as bringing everyone back. Mike Elco takes over the defense. They can take a step forward. And then I mentioned Torian York in the Texas preview. He could be a top 2-round draft pick. And then Scooby Williams beside him as his counterpart at the linebacker position is pretty good himself. So I expect the defense to get better this year. How much better, I'm not entirely sure. But I just don't think it can be as bad as it was last year. Because I've also watched Mike Elco defenses at A&M before, because he was the defensive coordinator during Jimbo Fisher's early years, and we had really good defenses.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this team a lot. I'm trying to pump the brakes, but
Yeah.
I think everything's looking up. When your team has that good of an offensive line and that good of a run game, I think we at least have a pretty high floor this year.
Agreed.
Because I just don't see us losing. There's going to be some weeks where we just run the ball all over somebody and they can't stop us, and we're just going to pick up a win that way.
Yeah.
So
I think it was it the Texas game last year? You watched it. I think we watched it together. I remember you just being like, Texas is just bigger than we are everywhere. Do you feel like that is different now? Like earlier we said that you thought there's a chance you could win the Texas game. Y'all had, even though the game was only 10 points last year, y'all realistically never had a chance in that game.
See,
Texas was bigger than you everywhere.
correct. It's
So
not
do
even
you
a thing
feel
of
so-
they looked bigger and they looked faster, but we're not so much less talented than them that's realistically actually the case. We have big guys. We have the second biggest offensive line by average weight in the country.
Mm-hmm.
We have dudes. Now the question is, when push comes to shove, can we actually go make plays? Can our offensive line get push on a 4th and 1 instead of getting stuffed? Can Colin Klein call the right plays? I think we got a little psyched out in the Texas game, in my opinion.
I felt like it was Marcel Reed. You felt like you were held back there with a redshirt freshman starting.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't feel like he had any weapon besides throw it deep, which you were not going to be able to throw it deep given the talent that Texas had in the defensive back room. And then, running against Texas just wasn't working.
No.
And for a team that relies a ton on the run, that's when it became, it felt like, it was hopeless. And
That game was truly a lost cause.
I think that was the big reason for it. That you were gonna need a fumble or a turnover to go your way, which was completely possible with Quinn Ewers.
we got a pick 6. It just wasn't enough because
Yeah.
we literally could not score.
Exactly. But I think I am high on A&M in that game because I expect Marcel Reed to develop a ton this year. I do not expect him to just be a one-trick pony this year with just the deep ball. I guess that's a two-trick pony with just the deep ball and running. I think he will develop some intermediate passing. I think they'll find him spots to to be productive.
We have way better receivers for that too.
Agreed.
Not that was the reason he wasn't great last year, but it's a lot easier throwing to KC Conception and Mario Craver and stuff like that across the middle than our best receiver last year was Noah Thomas, who was good, but he's just kind of your go route deep ball guy.
Yep.
We had no one over the middle, so
I just expect them to be a lot better offensively and have more things to bring to the table. And so because of that, I think they can go win at Texas.
I mean, I would
Would
love
you-
that.
so-
I wouldn't predict it,
Yeah.
but I think they could.
Would you agree with what Cromie said about playing for a chance to make the SEC championship game
Oh, yeah.
is a good season?
I didn't even mention that in my thing.
If you told me that preseason, I would have signed up for that in a heartbeat, been ecstatic.
I think it was the situation of losing to Auburn with it on the line. It was kind of like, we're better than this Auburn team. Like, what is happening?
We weren't that. I mean, we couldn't stop it.
Right.
Yep.
But, like,
We got the ball back with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, up 7. Couldn't get a first down, punt it, and then they marched down the field and us tie it up. And it's like, all right, well, we don't deserve to win that game.
yeah.
And that's what I hope is better this season is our defense in big moments rises to the challenge like Mike Elko defenses did when he was here under
Yeah.
Jimbo Fisher.
And so I think that's where the frustration with the season comes from is it's like, I mean, you literally had the SEC championship 2 minutes and 40 seconds away or whatever.
It's a double frustration, too, in that we were that close to making it, and also Texas made it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel good for your rival to do so.
Because if y'all had won that Auburn game, you would have put Texas out and played Auburn or Georgia.
Yeah.
So
It's
over under or you
just real
Go for
quick. We just returned so much pieces that were also good last year. It's not like we're asking a bunch of people to take these massive jumps that you just the over-under being 7.5 is one that I feel very comfortable taking the over in. I personally see us going 9-3 is what I have happening. If you check my official predictions, I have us going 10-2 because I will never officially predict us to lose to Texas. But yeah, I think 7.5 is a little low here.
I'm going to take the over as well.
Mhm.
So looking at their schedule, Notre Dame is tough. They get Florida at home, which is huge. At LSU, South Carolina is at home, and then at Texas. I still think that, I mean, that's 3 or 4 losses. You're still hitting the over at 8 or 9 wins, so I got to take the over.
I can walk you through what my actual
Do it.
prediction
Do
is.
it.
So I have us starting 5-0, and then we lose to Florida. Beat Arkansas, lose to LSU because it's at LSU. If it was at home, I'd have us winning.
So now you're 6-2.
But then we win our next 3 games, and then officially have us beating Texas.
All right, so
To
that's
have us at 10-2 because more morals and principles, I can't have us losing to Texas.
Yeah. JP.
I think the season goes 2 ways. There's a ceiling and there's a floor. The floor is 8-4 and the ceiling is 8-4.
Texas 8-4. Sure.
I think they're going 8-4. They 9-3 though. I think they make the playoff. Just given if one of those wins is, especially one of those big road wins, if you can get one of the big road wins and you're 9-3, I think you're in the playoff.
Yeah, I mean those 3 big road games are against other playoff teams or projected playoff teams. So
JP, you said multiple times that you've got a 9-3 SEC team making the playoff. We didn't have that last year, did we?
No, and we didn't have it because it felt like outliers. Like South Carolina had the depressing performance against Ole Miss, and then
Yeah.
2 wins they should have, or 2 losses they shouldn't have had. Missouri's schedule was terrible. It was just so weak, and so because of that, we just didn't.
Alabama loses to Vandy.
Alabama
Yeah.
lost to Vanderbilt. Like that was.
And Oklahoma.
I felt like it made it an outlier for me. 9-3, I think, with this schedule could change that. But again, I might need to go back on that point because you can. I feel like to go 9-3, you might have one of those games, which is the same reason South Carolina, Alabama didn't make it. But
Yeah.
I got 8-4. But I would not be surprised if they're in the playoff. I'll be interested to see if I got them in my playoff on Wednesday. I haven't picked everyone
Me
yet.
neither.
That's fair.